Hello student. Today we will discuss about the various transportation committees and their recommendation. Means what are the, it is coming under your module of the transportation management. So today basically we will discuss, if you see the first topic of this, our today's point of discussion is the various transportation committees and their recommendation. So what are the various type of committees from the ancient time to the present situation? What are the development of the Highway Act, National Highway Act? What are the various type of road? What are the various construction method, and what are the recommendation of this various committee? Those things will be discussed in today's class. So before going to start the class, let me introduce myself. Myself Dr. Debasish Das. I am assistant professor of civil engineering department, GIS College of Engineering, West Bengal. Here is my contact details and email ID is given. So for any query regarding this session or my previous session, you can contact me in the given contact details. So transportation engineering basically is the application of technology and scientific principles to the planning, functional design, operation, management of the facilities for any mode of transportation in order to provide for the safe, efficient, rapid, comfortable, convenient, economical, environmental compatibility movement of people and goods from one place to another. So we have already discussed about the definition of the transportation. So I have, if you remember, I have also give you an example of the packers and movers. So the movement of packing and the movement of human being or the object is not only the movement related to direct movement. There are also indirect movement are also there. So this whole thing are clubbed together and known as the system, transportation system. So basically, how to manage this system is the topic of today's point of discussion, the transportation system management. Under the module of transportation management, what are the various committees? So there are various modes of transportation, as you all know. In land it is a roadway, railway, water, air, and another is pipeline network. So what are the various modes of transportation? In highway, the car, bus, a truck, non-motorized, etc. In railway, the passenger and the goods train. In airways it is aircraft and helicopter, and in waterways it is ship, boat, etc. and continuous flow system like the pipeline or the belt, then ropeway, elevator. These are some pipeline or the continuous flow system. So what is the merits and demerits of the airways? So the merits and demerits of the airways: it is the fastest among all the modes, more comfortable, time saving, but uneconomical. That is why, if you remember, I have told you that the land transport, that is the railway and the roadway, are the most promising and most useful by or used by the user in across the world, across the globe. The maximum people are using this, only these two, because the main reason is the accessibility or easiness of the accessibility, and second one is the cost aspect, because in traveling in air it takes a huge cost which cannot be cannot be cannot be given or cannot be bear by all of everyone. So that is why the cheapest, the safest, and the comfortable, not the that level of comfortability is there compared to the flight, but whatever may be the comfortability based on our pocket friendly, we prefer the railway and the highway. The merits and the demerits of the waterways are slowest among all other modes. It needs minimum energy to hold unit load through unit distance. This can be possible between ports, on the sea routes, or along the river, and it is economical. In the railway, the transportation along the railway track could be advantageous by railway between the stations, both for the passengers and the goods, particularly for a long distance. It depends upon the road transport, that is the road could serve as the feeder system. Energy required to halt a unit load through unit distance by the railway is only 1/4 to 1/5 of that total required by the road. And the safety aspect. So here is the one new common term is the new term is the, that is a feeder system. So what is the feeder system? So if you remember, I have discussed one day. Suppose I want to go to the nearest station, or nearest metro station, or nearest bus stand. I can book a taxi or the Ola or the Uber or any local vehicle from my door itself. Means the service which connect you to the to your doorstep, to the nearest public transport, that is called the feeder service. And for highways, it gives a maximum service to one and all. It gives a maximum flexibility for travel with reference to routes, direction, time, and speed of the travel. It provides door-to-door services. Other modes are depend on it. It requires small investment for the government. Motor vehicles are cheaper than other carriers like rail locomotives and wagons. It saves the time for the short distance and a high degree of accident due to the flexibility of movement. Yes, whenever you give the full flexibility of the movement, then the chances of the accident will definitely be there. Because in the highway or the roadway travel, that there is no such restriction on the movement of the traffic, which is the maximum, the restriction or the rules and the guidelines are maximum in the airway, then our railway, then our waterway, and finally at the roadway. But as it is a flexible, the chances of the accident is also be more, because until and unless you give some restrictions, some fine or some punishment to the user, it won't be, it won't be work. So that is why the accident, the probability of the accident in the highway or the roadway is the maximum. The scope of the highway engineering, so it is development, planning, and location. So we will discuss about the development, how we can develop the highway, how we plan the highway, and what are the locations who need to be focused. Highway design, geometric and the structure, geometric design of the highway, traffic performance and its control, the various traffic controls or the traffic parameters, how we control that, means the speed, the traffic volume, and the materials and the construction and the maintenance. And the last one is the economic, finance, and the administration. So role and the impact of transportation. It is the economic development, the societal development, the spatial development, the cultural development, and the political development. So all these development, it depend on the transportation system. So suppose if there is a, I want to construct one national highway in a particular area which is not developed, but just after the starting of the connectivity, you can find out that there are some developers are coming, they purchase the land, they start their construction business, some small shops are there, then the populations are increasing day by day, then the population unit is increasing, agricultural hub will be created, the industry will be created. So based on the transportation, the periphery of the transportation is that the whole city can be constructed or came up from a from highway, from national highway, or for or based on any importance, national importance of the road. So what are the various characteristics of the road transport? So the roads are used by the various types of road vehicles, like passenger cars, buses, trucks, pedal cycle, animal-drawn vehicles, and many more. It requires a relatively small investment for the government, though the investment is very high, but relatively small compared to the our railway and the airway. It offers a complete freedom to road users to transfer the vehicle from one lane to another lane, from one road to another road according to need and convenience. That is why the chances of the accident is high. Speed and movement is directly related to the severity of the accident. Yes, definitely. If the volume will be comparatively high, then the speed will be less, then the chances of the accident will be more. The road transport is the only means of transport that offers itself the whole community life. So, what is the historical development of this road construction? It is not like that from yesterday I have thought to construct a road, and tomorrow I build a 5 kilometer of road with the high definition of the material, high tech of technology, everything. So the construction, the concept of the construction of the road is came from the World War. So why the need of the road is initiated? Because for the movement or for transport their goods and the weapons during the World War One and the World War Two, the necessity of the necessity for the construction of the road have been initiated. So the oldest mode is the footpath, animal ways, cart path. As the civilized evolved, the need of the need for transportation increased. So in Roman road, in 500 BC, they were built straight regardless of the gradient. They were built after the soft soil was removed and hard stratum was reached, and thickness varies from 0.75 to 1.2 meter. Roman road construction. So you can see that this is the various component of Roman road. The first component at the bottom of the trench, the Roman put a big layer of the stone, big layer of the stone. The broken stone and the pebbles, cement and sand to make a firm base. It is placed in the layer 2. In layer 3, they provide the cement mix with broken tiles. In 4, they provide the paving stone from the surface of the road. These were cut so they fitted together tightly, and curb stone at the side sail in the paving stone and made a channel for the water to run away. So basically, this is provided for your water percolation through this. Means the if you see if you heard the term of the camber. So camber is basically provided. This is the projected part of the road which is provided in the perpendicular direction of the road. So basically it is provided so that the water cannot stack on the surface of the road. It should be drained off. So the concept of draining of the water is itself from the Roman time, but the methods are changing due to the availability of the latest technology, the new material and the skill level. So these are the few sample type of Roman road, and in the below it is a modern road. In the top it is a Roman type of the road. So the other oldest road transport are the trace gate construction, Metcalf construction, Telford construction, and the macadam construction. So these are the various types of construction which are used from the ancient time. So now, if we're talking about the Indian road, so India has a large road network of over 3.314 million kilometers of roadways, making it to the third largest road network in the world. At 0.66 kilometer of highway per square kilometer of land, the density of India's highway network is the higher than the USA. It is 0.65, then the China 0.16, and from Brazil of 0.2. So this is the development of our Indian highway. The first, these are the development of the various committees and their recommendation and the other committees. So first committee came in the picture in 1927, which is known as the Jaipur Committee. Next, in 1929, the CRF introduced the Central Road Fund. The IRC have introduced in 1934. Then CRRI, the Central Road Research Institute, in 1950. 1936, the first Motor Vehicle Act. This is the act have came in the picture, and after the CRRI you can see a gap of 45 years, and they produce the National Highway Authority of India, which is the governing highway organization in today's in today itself, the National Highway Authority of India. Then the based on their formation of the committee, the various plans, road plans are there. The first the first 20 years road plan in 1943 to 1961. Second 20 years road plan is from 1961 to 1981. Highway Research Board is formed in 1973. National Transport Policy Committee formed in 1978, and third 20-year plan from 1981 to 2001. So what the JICAR committee suggested or recommended in 1927. So after the World War II, the motor vehicle using the road increases. This demand a better road network. In 1927, Indian Road Development Committee was appointed by the government with MR Jayakars as the chairman. The road development in the country should be made as a national interest, since the local government do not have financial and the technical capacity for the road development. An extra tax should be levied on the petrol from road user to create the road development fund. Even today itself, there are some taxes are taken from the petrol itself. It is taken for the maintenance and the development of the roadways. To to establish a semi-official technical institution to pull technical knowledge, sharing of ideas, and to act as an advisory board. To create a national level institution to carry research, development works, and consultation. Central Road Fund. It was formed on 1st March 1929. So the consumer of the petrol were charged at an extra levy of 2.64 paisa at that time per liter of petrol to build up this road development fund. From this, 20% of the annual revenue to be retained as a central revenue for such and experimental works expenses. Balance 80% is allowed by the central government and the various states based on the actual petrol consumption or the revenue collected. So the Central Road Fund 1929 CRF Act came in picture in 2000. So it is distribution of the 100% of the sales on petrol as follows: 57.5% for national highway and 30% for state highway. So and it is as per the MORTS. It is the Ministry of Roadway and Transportation Highway. 12.5% for the safety works on the railroad crossing and 50% says on the diesel for the rural and the development. So now the Indian Road Congress IRC is constituted in 1934 to 1934, and we are still following the various guidelines on the IRC for the construction of the road and the maintenance of the road. So the central semi-official body known as the IRC was formed in 1934 to provide a national forum for the regular pooling of experience and ideas on the matters related to the construction and the maintenance of the highway. It is active body controlling the specification, standardization, and the recommendation of the material design, roads, and bridges. It publishes journal, research publication, and standard specification guidelines to provide a platform for expression of professional opinion on matters related to roads and the road transport. The Motor Vehicle Act as introduced in 1939, and based on that, it regulates the road traffic in the form of the traffic laws, ordinance, and the regulation. Three phases primarily covered are control of the drivers, vehicle ownership, and the vehicle operation. It was revised in 1988. Now, what are the CRRI has introduced in 1950? It engaged carrying out the research and the development project. So basically, CRRI is itself an institute which is a research institute. The various research on the highway construction of the material, the testing of the construction material of the highway are being conducted over there. So it is institute constituted in 1950, and still it is one of the pioneer institute in India in context of the highways. It design, construction, and maintenance of the road, runways, traffic and transportation planning of mega and medium cities, management of roads in different terrain, improvement of marginal materials, utilization of industrial waste in road construction, the landslide control, ground improvements, environment, pollution, road safety. So basically, CRRI is an institution which deals with all the research related activities. It in terms of the utilization of waste material for construction of the road, for controlling of the landslide, for our ground improvement techniques. So these are the research work is taken under the CRRI. Now the Ministry of Road Transport and the Highway, planning, development, and maintenance of the national highway in the country, extended technical and the financial support of the state government for the development of the state roads and the roads of interstate connectivity and the economic importance. It involves the standard specification for roads and bridges in the country. It stores the data related to technical knowledge on the roads and the bridges. Now the HRB, the Highway Research Board. The Highway Research Board is the nature and the extent of the research required. It is an extension part of the CRRI basically. So to correlate the research information from various organizations in India and abroad, to collect and correct correlation surveys, to collect result on research, and to channelize consultation services. So the classification of the highways, so based on the weather, the all weather road and the fair weather road. depending on the carriageway, the paved road and the unpaved road, depending upon the pavement surface, the surface road and the unsurfaced road. The surface road means the bituminous road or the cementous. Bituminous means our flexible pavement and cementous means our rigid pavement. Based on the traffic volume, the heavy traffic volume road, medium traffic volume road, and the light traffic volume road. Based on the load or the tonnage, it is a class 1, class 2, or class A, class B tons per day. Based on the location and the function, based on the location and the function, it may be a national highway, state highway, MDR, major district road, ODR, other district road, and VR for the village road. So classification of the highway based on the modified system. So primarily, based on primary it is expressway and the national highway. Secondary it is state highway and the major district road, and tertiary it is other district road and the village road. So this is one of the expressway. You can see the speed limit is the expressway at a high speed at 120 kilometer per hour. The land width is 90 meter. The full access control connect to the major points. No slow moving traffics allowed, and no loading and unloading and parking are allowed on this route. So national highway are the main highways running through the length and the breadth of the India, connecting major parts, foreign highways, capital of the large state and the large industrial and the tourist centers, including road requests for strategic movement for the defense of the India. So the national highways have a total length of 70,548 kilometers. Indian highway cover 22% of the total road network of the India and carrying 40% of the total traffic. So you can imagine how the importance of the national highway. It only the 2% of the total road, but it carries the 40% of the total load of the traffic in India. The highway connecting the Delhi, Ambala, Amritsar is denoted as an NH1, whereas the bifurcation of this highway beyond Jalandhar to Srinagar and Uri is denoted as the NH1A. The longest highway in India is the National Highway 7, which stretched from Varanasi in Uttar Pradesh to Kanyakumari in the southernmost point of Indian land. So the national highways is the shortest. The shortest highway is an NH47A, which stretches from Ernakulam to Kochi and covers a length of only 4 kilometers. So the golden quadrilateral. So it is the one of the costliest project in Indian highway. It is the NH2, which connect the Delhi and the Kolkata of 1453 kilometer. Then NH47 and 46 in between Chennai and Mumbai. It covers the 1290 kilometer. Then NH5 and 6. It is Kolkata and Chennai, which is 1684 kilometer, and National Highway 8, which connect the Delhi and Mumbai of 1419 kilometer. Now state highways. So they are the arterial road of a state connecting up with the national highways of adjacent state, district headquarters and important cities within the state. So the total length of the state highway in the country is 1,37,119 kilometers, and the speed is in between 80 kilometer to 90 kilometer per hour. Major district road. The importance of these roads is in a district serving areas of production and market, connecting those with each other and with the major highways. So India has a 4,70,000 kilometer of India, and speed is in between 60 to 80 kilometer. Now ODR. What is ODR? So the ODR serving the rural area production and providing them with a outlet to market centers or other important source like MDR or SH. So basically the purpose of ODR is to connect the area with the MDR and the state highway. Now the village road. So they are the roads connect the village or the group of village with each other or to the nearest road of a highway category like ODR and MDR. India has a 26 lakh 50,000 kilometer of the ODR and VR out of their total 33 lakh 15,000 kilometer of all type of road, and the speed kilometer permissible in ODR is 40 to 15 kilometer per hour. This is the urban road classification. It is arterial road, subarterial road, collector, local street, cul-de-sac, pathway, and the driveways. So what is arterial road? So no frontage access, no standing vehicle, very little cross traffic, design speed of around 80 kilometer per hour, lane width of 50 to 60 meter, divided roads with full or the partial parking, pedestrian allowed to walk only at the intersection. Subarterial route, the bus stops about no standing vehicle, less mobility than arterial. Spacing for CBD, CBD is a central business district, 0.5 kilometer, design speed of 60 kilometer and lane width of 30 to 40 kilometer. Sorry, 30 to 40 meter. The collector street, collector and the distributed traffic from local street provide access to arterial roads located in residential, business and industrial area. Full access allowed, parking permitted, design speed of 50 km per hour, and lane width in between 20 to 30 meter. This is the local speed with a design speed of 30 km per hour, lane width of 10 to 20 meter. The primary access to residence, business, or other abutting properties, less volume of traffic at a slow speed, and unrestricted parking pedestrian movement. So this is the dead end street, means after that there is no space to move the traffic or the pedestrian. So that is the end of the street and this is known as the cul-de-sac. So this type of street is provided basically in the residential. So if you see that this road is ended here, so you cannot move further. This road is ended here, you cannot move further. So in this way this type of road is provided basically in residential area. Now driveway, a driveway is a type of private road for local access to one or a small group of structure and is owned and maintained by all individuals of the group. Drivers are commonly used as a path to private garages, fuel station and the houses. Now what are the various type of road pattern? So there are various type of road patterns like rectangular, radial, or the radial block pattern, radial circular pattern, radial grid pattern, hexagonal pattern and the minimum travel pattern. Now what these committees have suggested in their various plans. So for the first plan, because without planning we cannot think for the tomorrow. Every time we plan for the our development of our personal planning or the institutional planning or local planning, global planning, for each and every planning the development, the planning should be there. So in the first 20 years, the time was 1943 to 1963. The first plan was fixed, but fortunately they have completed within 18 hours, 18 years. So they concluded in completed the work in 1961. So the conference of the chief engineer held at Nagpur, it is known as the Nagpur Road Plan, in 1943 finalized the first 20-year road development plan for India called the Nagpur Road Plan. Road network was classified into 5 categories. The responsibility of construction maintenance of national highway was assigned to central government. The target road length was 5,32,700 at the end of the 1961. Density about 16 kilometer of road length per 100 square kilometer area would be available in the country by the year of 1963. The, the formula were based on the star and the gate pattern of the road network. An allowance of 50% is provided for agricultural industrial development during the next 20 years road plan, and the length of the railway track in the area was also considered in deciding the length of the first category of the road. The second 20 years road plan is initiated in 1961 and up to it is up to 1981. So it was initiated by IRC and was finalized in 1959 at the meeting of the chief engineer. It is known as the Bombay Road Plan. The target road length was almost double that of Nagpur Road Plan. It is 10,57,330 kilometer, and the density is also double in first plan. Road plan it is 16 kilometer per square 100 square kilometer, but now it is 32 kilometer per 100 square kilometer with the outlay of 5,200 crores. Every town with population above 2,000 in plans and above 1,000 in semi-hill area and above 500 in hill area should be connected by metal road. The maximum distance from any places in the semi-developed area would be 12.8 km from metal road and 4.8 km of any road. Expressway have also been considered in this plan, and 1600 kilometer of the length has been included in the proposed target national highway. Length of the railway tracks considered independent of the road, and 5% are provided for the future development. And in the third 20 years roadway plan, that is from 1981 to 2001, the future road development should be based on the revised classification of the road system, develop the rural economy and small town with all essential features. Population over 500 should be connected by the all-weather road, and density increases from 82 kilometer per 100 square kilometer from 32 kilometer as per second roadway plan. And the national highway network should be expanded to form a square grid of 100-kilometer side, so that the no part of the country is more than 50 kilometers away from the national highway. So, in the third roadway plan, all the towns and the village with the population of 1500 should be connected by MDR major district road, and villages with a population of 1000 to 1500 by ODR other district roads. So, this is about our today's discussion, that what are the various committees, the JICAR committees, then our National Highway Committee, CRF, CRRI, National Highway Act, then our various recommendation for first 20 years, second 20 years, and third 20 years. So basically, our today's learning outcome is, if we talking about in one sentence, that the historical development of the highway from the ancient time to the till date has been discussed in today's class. So this is for all for today. So in next class we will discuss some another topic on some another day. So till the next class, thank you.